Good evening, friends. Ken McAuliffe here, the jazz vinyl lover, to talk to you about Chick Corea. Good evening. I'm Ken McAuliffe, the jazz vinyl lover, here to talk to you tonight about Chick Corea. Chick Corea is one of the great jazz stars on the planet, one of the senior citizens now, just about. Chick has been through so many changes in his career. I first came to the awareness of Chick Corea in the early 70s. My friends and I would all go see this rock band from Kentucky. They had this amazing drummer, and his favorite drummer was Airto, a Brazilian percussionist who appeared on a few of Chick's really early records, Light as a Feather, and I forgot the other one. There were fully acoustic trio records, and these records had some of Chick's soon-to-be standards, such as Spain, La Fiesta, 500 Miles High, really fantastic, now standards of the jazz repertoire. So Chick was initially, from Boston, had played on some, had played with Miles most famously, of course, and just had a wonderful touch. Many years later, when I worked at Tower Records in New York City on 66th Street, I'd been there like 2 weeks, and Chick came in with the electric band. The whole band set up in the store. And at that time, which was the early 90s, late 80s, the Upper West Side was still heavily Hispanic. And so the store was just packed with people who came to marvel at Chick's Latin rhythms played electrically by this amazing band with Dave Weckl and John Patitucci, and then Scott Henderson on guitar. I still have a tape of that somewhere. But Chick has done so many amazing things in his career, including his more free period, here with Miroslav Vitous and Roy Haynes, also with Barry Altschul and Dave Holland, I believe. Yes, these are amazing free jazz records. But given Chick's amazing touch, another one with the same trio, Arc. These records are a little hard to find, but you can find them. Wonderful ECM pressings. ECM is a whole story into itself. And then Chick comes, more into the public consciousness on his amazing 70s records with Steve Gadd and Stanley Clarke. Gadd is really at his height and peak at these records. Mad Hatter, just astounding, the zenith of Steve Gadd, the drummer's technique. Before we go to full-on fusion with Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy and Where Have I Known You Before. I think Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy is such an incredible record. It's a horrible recording, but it's an amazing record with Bill Connors on guitar, who is just on fire. He's so dense. And then they replaced him, because I think he didn't want to go with the scene they were in, with Al Di Meola, of course, and they became stars. But the texture of the band really changed. It was much grittier and funkier and darker with Bill Connors. And right up to the present with his last electric band with Dave Weckl and Gary Novak on drums and John Patitucci on bass. And now he's really one of the elder statesmen. And still amazing. If you go see him play at any club in the world, he's just incredible. I have a little story for you. I interviewed him once, and I've written about jazz for many years and written, thousands of interviews and interviewed many, many people. And the only two people I wanted my photo taken with when I interviewed them, one was Elvin Jones, and one was Chick Corea. And I said, after our interview for Jazz Times or Downbeat, whatever it was, I said, may I have my photo taken with you? And he said, sure, but only if I can have my photo taken with you. Well, that's never happened before or since. And later on, when I interviewed Stanley Clarke, he said, well, your photo is now on a giant wall at Scientology headquarters. So I guess that's nice. Maybe they're, saying, maybe they're chanting over me. It's a good thing, right? Anyway, I just think Chick Corea deserves a lot of respect. He's not a young gun, but he's such an amazing piano player, an amazing composer, a real force, and really an upbeat, life-affirming character in jazz. So I just want to talk to you about that a little bit, and I look forward to hearing your comments. I'm Ken McAuliffe, the Jazz Vinyl Lover. Good night.